Welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast, a podcast filled with massive information that you did not realize that you needed to place in an utterly useless part of your brain. I am Brett. Joining me in this podcast is Jeremy. And, oh, wait, just 1 second. Man down, man down. Taylor Beams is not with us, but stepping up is our good friend Timmy.
Hello.
Hello, Timmy.
All right. Well, I guess in this podcast, we are going to be doing our Spin the Wheel segment. Jeremy has a brand new segment. And then we have our draft boom of Nicolas Cage's movies. There's no boom possibly I can see, in all honesty.
You say that, but I know you don't mean it.
Oh, it's funny because it's not true. All right, so here comes the introductory quote, and I know Taylor, if he was here, has not heard this. Timmy has not, and I know Jeremy has, but it might not be in the forefront of his mind. All right, so I don't think it's possible for anybody to think of a million otters. I think you're thinking of a lot of otters, but are just claiming that it is a million. I don't think anybody can think of more than 20 at a time. Oh, I definitely could think of about 100 and fill up this entire plane. All right, so is this a jam-packed nightmarish plane, or are they lounging around in relative comfort? Oh, I think, there's 16 seats, so I say 2 to the seat. These otters good friends? Let's hope so. And then 1 in the overhead storage compartment. Always remembering to open them with care because otters may have shifted in flight. Anyway, that is from Cabin Pressure.
Yep, I remember that. I was like, yeah, Cabin Pressure. Great. What do you call that? It's not an audio drama.
No, it's like an audio play.
Audio play, yep. With Benedict Cumberbatch.
On Audible, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I have re-listened to that so many times.
And it's funny because I don't know if I mentioned it because I brought it up as one of my one recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's so awesome that the voice of the co-pilot is the voice of London in V for Vendetta. So the guy that gets killed in the shower.
Which is so funny because I can't hear him not being Douglas.
Douglas, yeah, the co-pilot. Yes. He doesn't sound mean or whatever you want to call him. He's not evil. I mean, he's diabolical, but he's not evil.
No.
Is it like one audiobook, or is it like split into couple different series?
So there's 4, and then there's 2 specials because it was so funny. It wasn't until I got through like halfway through like the 3rd volume and I had to pick up an extra one, and I'm like, wait, just 1 second. The second one, the first trip is to
Abu
Dhabi. The second one is to like Birmingham or whatever. And I'm like, wait, they're doing the alphabet.
Yep. So, yeah, they were originally planning on doing 26 episodes, but they didn't quite.
No, they got it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they got it because the last one is Zurich. And
that's right. Yeah. I thought they just skipped some letters because they didn't do Q, did they?
Yeah, they did. Kick Tajwek.
Oh, I forgot.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So, like, each season has like 4 episodes, but they're pretty long, right?
Yeah. Each episode is about 29, 28 minutes or so. The seasons are anywhere from 4 episodes. I think the first season is 4 episodes long. The next 3 are 6.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Highly recommend it. I mean, I think pretty much every character is fantastic in it, especially when it's Burling Day.
And also I like their trip when they're stuck on the plane in Russia.
I forgot that one. Oh,
when they start the plane up, Arthur makes a snowman, and they won't let them leave until they take all the material off of the runway. And then because they close down the airstrip, they have to spend the night in the airplane, but they also have to keep the engine on because as they turned it on, a piece of it broke.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways, that's a great show. All right. So I guess we'll start with merit badges. And so I had this merit badge a couple times. Lately I've been trying to not earn this merit badge because eventually our
robotic overlords will throw us over and enslave us all. But today's merit badge is brought to you by me yelling at technology.
Uh-oh. You've got to that age now where you're yelling at technology.
Well, and the thing that it's annoying me is it's not like it not working right. What annoys me is for the past, and so my merit badge looks like, the MapQuest or whatever, you are here icon. And I'm sitting there and I'm holding it, my phone yelling, this is my house. So for like the past, like whenever I go somewhere, I always try to park in places that I remember that are familiar. And so if I always go to the same place, I will always park in the same spot because I don't want to misplace my car. However, for the past 2 months, whenever I park my car in my garage or at my parents' house, which my phone should be familiar with, that I've been there thousands of times because I live there or my parents live there, it always tells me, I've pinned your location. You are now parked. However, I could go to a couple weeks ago, I went to Fashion Place Mall because I'm an idiot. And that's why I realized, this is why I buy stuff online. So I don't have to go to stuff like that. And it never pinned anything that I ever went for, but it constantly pins when I park my car in my garage.
Wow.
So helpful. Mine does that. Yeah, you're right. Like the other day I was at the airport and it didn't pin it at all. Now I'm looking back on it, but it has pinned it at my in-laws' house numerous times ago. Yeah, I know. And plus I'm parked just right on the street. That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Love technology.
Yep. It's funny when it works in really pathetic ways. Like you didn't really solve a problem there. All right, my merit badge. My merit badge is either giving back an old merit badge or, it's more or less giving back my MacGyver merit badge.
Oh, so an uncourt of honor.
Yeah, as decorded or uncorded. So my daughter, who is about 20 months old, deconstructed my whole cage I had for her to prevent her from climbing out of her crib. So now she's back to climbing it out.
She sounds brilliant.
She is brilliant she knows how to get out of just about any pack and play, any crib. And she does it while wearing like a sleep sack, which is like a sleeping bag. So her legs aren't really exposed. They're in a sack.
So what you're telling me is I don't feel as though you have unearned that. You have successfully raised a $1 million baby.
There you go. Or do you remember the show? What is it called with Timothy Hutton? Oh, Leverage.
Leverage.
Do you see that, Criddle?
Oh yeah.
No, I remember it, but I haven't seen it.
Your daughter's going to be the
blonde girl.
chick. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
She's going to be able to escape and be sneaky and get out of everything and into everything. That's her. So I guess yes, I have raised a ninja baby.
So
An escape artist.
Also, Dean could possibly be the muscle of the whole thing.
It's true, he could.
So now you just need the brains and the hacking and the actress.
Yep. Got to have more kids. Or I got to send my other 2 kids a role.
All right, Jude, here's a computer. Start hacking.
Okay. Hey, that's just a search engine.
You're just Googling stuff now. Come on.
That's how they do it now.
Yep. That's how you hack. Just tell Google to do it. Look up this person for me. I hacked him. All right.
Okay,
Criddle, what do you got?
Oh, my merit badge. Okay. I'm blaming this podcast for my merit badge.
Oh.
For the last 2 weeks, I'm getting the going insane merit badge. I've had Jason's mom stuck in my head for 2 weeks.
Isn't it glorious? Like,
did you listen to the whole thing?
Yes, and then like
yeah.
I'm at work, and I'm just like I'll be doing paperwork or checking emails, and I'm just like, Jason's mom. I'm like, oh no, it's happening.
We gave him an earworm.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Well, you and me are in the same boat because if it's not Jason's mom, it is the School of Rock Sticking It to the Man song. So
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, it's just in the musical version.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so I mean, this merit badge is probably the mask of Jason, and just it is literally. I mean, I like the song, but it's just been an earworm.
Oh no,
for 2 weeks.
Well, in fact, I feel you and hear you because it wasn't until this podcast happened that I ever heard the Blue song before, and because I just decided to do.
I don't know how you never heard that. That's
I've
so
never
weird.
heard it. Like I know I was alive.
Yeah.
When this thing came out.
Yeah, that's one of the worst songs ever.
That can get stuck in your head pretty easily too.
That, and forgive me for bringing this up because I don't think it will get stuck in your head, but like the Bop song, that was another one that was horrible.
You know,
do you not know the Bop song?
I know of it. I've actually never heard it, and you know what? Not gonna do the legwork and inserting it into the podcast.
That's a safe bet there.
There it is. All right, let's go on.
Spin the wheel.
All right, Brett, you're up first for Spin the Wheel. You get Could You Fight It?
So the other day I was flipping through the channels or I should say YouTube, for YouTube TV, and I saw Anaconda, the Jon Voight one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there thinking about that movie because I'm like, could you fight it? Because I feel as though everybody was set up for failure because Jon Voight's character was constantly doing this or doing that or whatever.
He was trying to catch it, or what was he trying to do? They had a different goal than him.
Yeah, I can't. It's been forever since I've seen it, but I'm like, I feel as though most of those people possibly could have helped catch it if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And so I guess the question is could you fight the Anaconda?
Now, question about this. I'm trying to recall correctly. Am I remembering this right, that J-Lo and Owen Wilson were both in that movie? Is that right?
I know Owen Wilson was in it. Was J-Lo?
J-Lo was, but I don't know about Owen Wilson.
Oh, okay.
we got 50-50. You've answered one side. I mean,
granted, in the 90s, Owen Wilson was in almost every other movie.
The funny thing is like, I don't think I knew who he was until
he was.
Oh, he was? Okay, yep. I'm seeing Jennifer Lopez, Jon Voight, Owen Wilson, Eric Stoltz. Ice Cube was in it.
Ice Cube.
Oh, Danny Trejo. I don't know him by name, but I know him by his appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe him.
No, the funny thing is when Danny Trejo is in like kids' movies and you're just like, I don't.
He's funny though.
Does he belong here?
Exactly.
Wasn't he in like The Bubble Boy or something?
He was in was he in like Agent Cody Banks or something like that? He was in some Disney-ish movie.
Oh, okay. In case you don't know him, he's the Hispanic guy that's always like he was in Machete or something like that.
Yeah.
Mustache, long hair.
Yeah.
He was in a SpongeBob movie recently that my kids were watching, and he's like El Diablo or something.
It's funny. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but it's funny because people like him, and then there's this one Hispanic guy that's always plays a thug, and every movie's in. He's bald, like he shaves his head bald. I'm trying to remember the movie, but he's being chased by something, and it goes up his rear end.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to remember what movie.
Bruce Almighty?
Yep, that's it. Bruce Almighty. And those guys are like completely typecasted as Hispanic thugs.
I think I remember seeing an article about that guy. I think he was named like Jose or something in several different of his movies. I don't know if that's his name. I'm going to have to look it up. But he plays the same name every movie.
Wouldn't you love to just start like putting Danny Trejo in certain movies? Like, okay, Barney movie, you're in it.
Yeah.
Hector.
His name's Hector.
Scooby-Doo.
His name's Hector his name's Hector in the Bruce Almighty movie.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
could we fight the snake?
Me alone, right? That's the question.
Yeah.
No, I'd die. I mean, give me a buffalo rifle or something, machine gun.
Let's just say you're going to go catch it. You're not just like whistling through the forest one day and you're like, oh, gee whiz, there's a anaconda.
If I had
That was a big snake.
If I had enough time and money in preparation, yeah, I could take it. Get like a kind of like a shark cage and just live in it on the boat. Or I don't even know if I'd want to be on the boat, because then you're in a cage and you could sink to the bottom of the water.
This sounds like a tough challenge.
But yes, I could do it if I had the resources. If it's just me and my resources that I have access to it now with the money that I have access to now, no.
So could you fight it with the anaconda if Danny Trehill was with you also?
Yes, I could.
Absolutely.
That guy could do anything.
He's a survivor.
Also, could you crowdfund this? Be like, I'm going to go fight the anaconda. Who is willing to back this? I'll have lots of GoPros, so the whole thing can be recorded.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Next would be me, I guess. I thought I got how much, but I got Desert Island. When you're on the desert island, would you rather have the taste of salt water always in your mouth, or always have sand everywhere? Like always, constantly, no matter what.
So wait, would the taste of salt water like constantly drive you to thirst? Or is it just the taste? Just the taste. I'd rather have just the taste because I hate sand. I am the most unbeach person probably on the face of the earth. The beach to me serves a purpose for about 30 minutes, and then it's just like, okay, are we done yet?
I'm not much of a sand person myself, but I would rather adapt to sand on my body than have the constant taste of salt water. I think I can get used to sand being just like as a layer of skin.
The thing about that, though, I think I'd be going with Brett with this and having the salt water in my mouth, primarily because of the rubbing of rawness, like in crevices.
Yeah.
And I've had before, and it's not very comfortable. And yeah, that alone would be my reason why I choose salt water.
Go insane because you'd be like, I need some sort of rash. Is there like any diaper cream that I can like rub on this area, because it's so sensitive.
Like you lay in the water in the sea for a little bit and then come out and you immediately feel that sand in every crevice, and you're like, nope, I didn't get it out, obviously, and never will. All right, Criddle, you have would you rather
enlist as a stormtrooper or a Starfleet officer?
Okay, so first question, I'm just out of, you said enlist, and the instant you said enlist, my brain immediately went to commercials from Starship Troopers.
Yes,
so,
mine
too. So would there be catchy, like, go see the galaxy as Darth Vader's stormtrooper?
Absolutely. There is propaganda left and right for this. You get benefits, but with both.
I'm thinking...
I love this question because it is worded so, it's like when you actually like pull back the layer, stormtroopers can't hit anything and many of them die. If you're in Star Trek Starfleet, you're probably a red shirt and you're going to die.
That's true. But I'd like to think, though, because I don't know if they ever give you the picture in Star Trek of how vast the fleet is. Like, but at least in Star Wars, there's numerous times you kind of get a perspective of how big their fleet is. And it's like, yeah, I think I'd just be a small, like, one guy amongst millions in with the stormtroopers. So that's probably where I'm going.
Stormtrooper.
Yep. And I won't be able to hit anything. My favorite thing is I just saw this meme the other day. I thought it was hilarious. It was like, it was a picture of a star. It was a picture of why can't I think? I'm thinking it's stormtrooper, right? Yeah. Okay. Brain fart. And It says, "Oh, happy belated May the Force be with you. Sorry, I missed it." And it was a stormtrooper. So I was like, "Yeah, that's funny. He missed it."
I like.
I remember.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like the meme that Taylor sent on the group chat a while ago with a whole bunch of Meeseeks trying to help stormtroopers like with target practice.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't
I
believe
remember
you know
seeing
that
him.
name.
I remember seeing a meme of a stormtrooper shooting a red shirt but missing, but the red shirt still dies.
That's funny. So, Brett, which one are you going to land on?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Starfleet. I mean, I think it'd be fun up until the death. Whereas, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, if you got suckered for the propaganda, I think you'd go either way. But looking at it logistically, stormtroopers. You do make a good point, but then I was thinking about one of the more later movies where there was just like that massive fleet of rebels and also the empire or whatever, and they all got taken down. And so you're just sitting there, you're not even doing anything, and you're just like, oh man, and now our ship is exploding. It's like, man, this sucks.
What about you, Curdle? What are you gonna do?
I mean, I really broke it down to two barriers. One is the stormtroopers are conquerors versus Starfleet are explorers.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like I'd have more fun as a stormtrooper. You're in the mask. You blending into millions of people. It's easy to kind of camouflage yourself if you make a mistake.
But then again, I guess on the other side of the coin is, do you want to be death choked if you do something wrong too?
Exactly. It's just like I went into the toilet and somebody didn't flush. Who didn't flush? And so then the Darth Vader just starts force choking everybody around him, and you're just like, I always flush and wash my hands.
You either force choke to death or you suffocate in space.
Exactly.
Yep. So which one did you land on?
Probably a stormtrooper.
Okay. So we have one red shirt and two stormtroopers here?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, at least I also get the he's dead Jim. I mean, you guys,
that's true.
You guys don't get that.
That's true. That's true. All right, Brett, you get lick off.
All right. So with my lick off, I'm going to preface this by saying this is a random slice of pizza, cheese side down, lying on the sidewalk. It has been there for an unknown amount of time.
And I have to lick the cheese side, right?
Yep.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear. An unknown. I mean, but visibly, is there anything else about it?
I mean, there could be some ants on it, and
but like, there's no mold. Has it rained? Can I tell these things?
Maybe it's just because we live in Utah and it doesn't rain that often. So I'm not gonna say it's like all watered down. It's just cheese side down. There could be some ants around.
And we have to lick the length of it.
On cement.
So you pull it off the cement because it's cheese side down, and then you.
Well, the good thing about that is pulling it off the cement, the first layer might come off.
That's true. But again, it just depends on how long it's been there, because it could just have solidified.
No, yeah, that's true. All right, I'll start the bidding at 5,000.
500.
Oh.
Wow.
Drop it down. 450.
300.
I was waiting for Timmy to just drop it down to $4 because he already dropped it down from like
yeah. Now it's just cheese pizza, like you said, right? Not that I
just
really
a random slice of pizza. But there's it could have anchovies on it. You never know. Like,
do people really order anchovies? Is that a thing? It's what I swear the 90s and 80s.
You say that, and then suddenly, like, you make you're at like a party and you mock the idea of anchovies, and you hear somebody go, "I like anchovies," and you're just like,
but I don't think I've ever seen that as an option.
There's always one
anywhere.
There is always one. I went to a
I'm gonna go to Pizza Hut's app right now.
I went to a YSA activity one time, and it was an option there, and it was the only option left by the time I got there.
Wow, that's weird. All right, where did you land off? I said 450, and you said
300.
Oh my gosh, Cradle.
Stuffed crust, just stuffed anchovies. Stuffed
Oh,
anchovy
man.
crust.
It's just one single lick of the pizza, right?
Yeah.
Or is it the full slice?
You're just going from the very
The
end of
tip.
the triangle tip all the way up to the maybe the stuffed crust center, which is stuffed with anchovies.
Okay, I can.
I'm gonna say 250.
150.
Yeah, you can have it.
Oh, okay.
You can have it.
There's a lot of anchovies in a lot of things that maybe a lot of people don't know about. So
Yeah, Caesar salad dressing.
that's right. That's one of them.
Yeah, I get that, but still, I'm not worried about that as much as I am it laying down for an unknown amount of time. If Brett told me it was like 12 hours, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I could go down further.
Yeah, the situation that I had planned for this whole lick off or whatever is you are just going for a walk with your young children, and happens to be a slice of pizza that is just like right there on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and if it's in New York, it might have been taken by a mouse.
You'd have to, if it was in New York, you'd have to fight a mouse for it.
Exactly.
Kids, watch this.
This is a learning moment. You come back with all these bite marks over you. I did it.
I beat those mice. However, I found that there was some crunchy cockroaches in the center.
Oh, yum. So I was on the Pizza Hut app. I know Brett saw it.
Yeah.
I could not find anchovies.
No, there was no anchovy option on the Pizza Hut app. So now Jeremy has moved to the Domino's.
Yep. I hate all these things you have to fill out. And so it may not be worth it. All right. So we're looking here at meat toppings because I assume, there it is. Anchovies. So Domino's in my neighborhood does have anchovies, but Pizza Hut does not.
Interesting.
The more we know. All right. My turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Then Criddle won that for our 150.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Lick. Okay. What would you have done? Brett, you may have done this. I have a note. So
Okay.
if that's the case, I'll just do a different one. Would you have been able to shoot your best friend to kill his hostage taker and prevent him from blowing up others with a detonator he has in his hand? So essentially, would you be able to shoot through your friend to get to the hostage taker?
No, you've not given this one to
No,
me.
I thought you may have asked this one before.
No, I have not. No.
Okay. So like, I don't know. Think of your best friend and he's being held by some guy has a trigger in one hand and a gun in the other hand, or I don't know how he pulls it off.
So actually, the whole situation reminds me of the Last Action Hero at the very beginning, where the one guy has a bomb and he also has Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
Oh yeah,
and
he falls off
yeah, at taking his son down with him.
So I actually pulled this from Speed, the movie, because I don't know if you remember, I think it was Jeff Daniels. Was it Jeff Daniels that was, I think he had to shoot through him and he told him, Jeff Daniels told him to shoot through him to get Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Shoot the hostage.
Come on, Jack. So would you be able to do that?
So I'm going to ask probably the worst question possible.
Okay. How many people?
No. How good of a friend am I with this person?
This is your best friend, whoever you deem that to be.
Oh man.
I'm not saying you have to kill him. You just have to shoot through him to get to the guy.
Do I have a stormtrooper aim?
You have your current name, whatever that is. Do you want to classify it as a stormtrooper name? That's up to you.
Oh boy.
I think this comes sadly to how many people would die on the other end of the bomb.
It's like that Button movie, except probably better.
Yeah. Oh, isn't it The Box?
The Box.
That was the worst movie.
I
think so if it's the Speed scenario, wasn't it just another bus that was hooked up to that bomb? I don't remember. So let's just think of a random bus. You don't know how many people are on it. that's what's hooked up to the detonator.
Okay, so another future question that will make me sound like probably a horrible person. Is this being live streamed? Because if I, because I could go. I'm like, no, you can just leave my friend alone. Just don't blow. You can blow up the bus or whatever. But then if that's live streamed, I mean, then everybody knows you're like a horrible person.
No, it's not live streamed. It's just you in the scenario with Speed. You're in a like really nice underground hallway. It seemed.
Man, I mean, so I was trying to like wiggle my way out of it. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen many of my like close friends for quite some time. It might not. I maybe do that. But then if it's like my best friend is my brother Jeremy. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
You couldn't shoot me?
I couldn't.
And I'd say, shoot her.
And then I would just start
wiggling
my gun.
Shoot him.
I don't think I could. I don't.
It'd be hard.
I would just be thinking about what are the chances of survival if I shot, like, if I took you out of the equation, and if it was more of a flesh wound, or do you just die?
I mean, you can shoot wherever you want.
Because I mean, you take you out of the question. Like take you out of the equation. I shoot you in the leg. You're down.
Yeah, that's what I was
still alive.
That's what I was thinking. I forget what movie it was in where he shot the guy's leg, and then the guy didn't expect the captive to bend over in pain, and then all of a sudden he was exposed, and so he got shot.
Exactly. So I mean, do I take you out of the equation, and then, I mean, you can explain later to your friend. It's either that or you die. Like,
yeah. Well, in this scenario, Jeff Daniels was trying to get Keanu Reeves to shoot him. He's like, do it.
Right.
So
I think I could shoot to get you out of the equation, but if it's death, probably not.
Yeah, I think I might try that approach. I would shoot their leg and hopefully get also the captor's leg as well. So be a twofer, and they'd be both in pain, and hopefully they don't both bend down in the same way in the same direction because it's like crap. I just still don't have a second clear shot.
Shoot now, ask for forgiveness later.
Exactly.
In the movie, is a dead man switch that he also has also?
I can't recall if it's a dead man switch or not. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yep. Then the whole point of that would be interesting because he's telling him to shoot him, but then he's like, well, then that's just going to kill me and the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll just leave it that it's not a dead man switch.
Okay.
All right, Criddle, you're up, and you have how much?
I see your Mountain Dews there. How much would it take for you to never drink or taste Mountain Dew and all its flavors ever again?
Oh, that's just cruel.
Funny that you say that, because 2 months ago I just decided to just walk away from all carbonated drinks ever.
Are you not coming back?
I feel so like hydrated now. I feel so much better that I'm like, I don't think I want to.
For me, it's like, I don't know if I've explained this on the podcast before, but this is it if I haven't. I don't really, treats aren't my thing. I mean, I do enjoy them, but it's not like I'm a person that loves Oreo cookies. In fact, I don't like Oreo cookies, which makes me weird. I don't have any of those, like, I gotta have popcorn when I go to the movie theaters or anything like that. To me, is always a soda, and preferably Mountain Dew. I would give up almost anything else in the world, ice cream, anything, and just keep Mountain Dew and be completely happy with life. But now you take away Mountain Dew. First of all, I'm pretty sure I'd become really fat because I'd be trying to fill a void. I've seen me do it.
Like, Jeremy's into butter eating now.
Told you I could eat that whole stick of butter.
I know, and then you just kept going afterwards.
Yep. I did the Homer Simpson, wrapped it in a waffle around it. Forgot what else he put on it.
Or you get into the you get into like the knockoff versions of Mountain Dew.
Oh my gosh, they don't even come close.
Oh, I almost bought for you on the way over here. They have hot Cheetos flavored Mountain
Oh, they
Dew.
do. I mean, I've seen it on internet, but I
Uh-huh.
thought I've never seen it in stores.
No,
So.
it's at the Holiday Oil, like
Down the street?
Down the street. Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to do a taste test for that. I'm gonna say I could do it for probably. This sounds really sad for me.
$1 million.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's $1 million. I could do it. That's my low ball offer. Because I mean, 500,000, 750,000. Actually, it'd be like, I'd have to think about it. But $1 million, I could straight up go, okay, I love you, Mountain Dew.
I mean, granted, if there's a monetary value, I would like enough money to like buy like some really good gym equipment or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So, maybe $30,000. Because I was watching some YouTubers and people like, do these exercise videos in their house. And I'm like, that's your house. You bought that? Really? You can buy those. Wow. All right then.
See, I'm trying to think of also what would be my secondary choice as a drink, since I can't touch any Mountain Dew flavors. I think, sadly, I'd probably die sooner because the only flavor I like other than Mountain Dew is I like energy drinks. And for some reason, those are the only ones that have really good flavors. I don't like most sodas like as my go-to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like Coke and Pepsi and all those.
I mean, you can still smell Mountain Dews, I guess. Just
Oh,
to
yeah.
get your high.
It's going to be like Spaceballs where you just open a
Exactly.
can and go, oh man, that'd be such a tease though.
The tease is really the opening of the can where you hear it.
Yeah.
And just, oh.
It's like if you go to a gas station and you're like, it's, I don't know. I'm sure this is mainly a Utah thing or like a soda drinker thing but you go to a gas station and they have it dialed in. That is the gold right there. That's the gold standard. They're better than cans. If you can get to a fountain drink that's dialed in perfectly. Oh, I love those.
So I work around a fountain dispenser, and you're able to take off the cover, and you're able to adjust the carbonation and the flavoring for each flavor beverage. And so like I've tinkered with it at my work, and like it does make a huge difference when there's just that right amount of flavoring versus the right amount of carbonation.
Do you get a lot of compliments?
Yeah,
People going, "Oh, it's spot on."
People notice the difference. It's
yeah.
We have a lot of Mountain Dew connoisseurs where I work for
That's
sure.
Funny. That's funny. All right, Brett, are you getting paid $30,000 essentially?
Yeah.
To never, because you have the opportunity right now to go back.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Like my joints feel so much better. My skin feels like I feel like more hydrated. I feel better. And so yeah, there's no turning back.
Oh yeah?
No.
Oh wow. Good on you.
Thank you.
All right. Now it's time for my new segment, which I'm going to call it channel surfing.
Ooh.
So, Criddle and Brett, you remember the time in your lives where you had to flip through the channels to find something to watch. And didn't have streaming, didn't have even this predates even the TV Guide channel.
Yeah.
So, where you stop and watch. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to roll a die. And you don't know what the number is going to be.
Okay.
I'm going to roll a D12. So 12 is the highest.
Okay.
And so we're going to play the game of your lives that you've probably played in your mind before of, is this show worth staying on or going to the next show, next channel?
Okay.
You remember doing that as a kid? Like, oh, this is good, but is it better than what's next on the next couple channels? You know that time that And this time, most of the time, you'd wait until commercial break to hurry and flip and see what else was on. But I don't know. Did everybody else do that, or was that just me?
No, we did that. In
Back
fact,
in the day.
it's so funny that you say that because I was reminded something happened, and I had a flashback to like when we were kids, and I was thinking about the commercials, and then everybody running to go to get a snack or to go to the bathroom, and then the one person yelling, "It's on!"
yeah. And then you run back as fast as you possibly can.
There was no pausing.
No.
Yep. And then, so I ran this by my wife. So, Criddle, since you've watched the show, you might have an understanding. She's like, oh, this reminds me a lot of on Gilmore Girls when they do I guess there's 3 people like that walk by and it's either yes or pass, but you have to, do you know what I'm talking about at all?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Cause I don't really, I mean, me and Brett and my sister played it kind of when we'd go out for ice cream in a sense. So, you either have to say yes. I mean, like you're next essentially for this. I'll give you the name of the movie, and you can decide if that's the one you're going to watch or you want to go to the next one. You don't know what the last option is going to be because I'm going to keep that a secret. But the last channel is definitely going to be the Weather Channel. So if you wait until the very end.
Okay, so I do need to ask, is this like the Weather Channel from our childhood, or is this the Weather Channel now? Because the Weather Channel from our childhood was like boring.
Yes, Weather Channel from our childhood.
Because the new Weather Channel is some guy generally is like strapped to like a pole going, I'm in the center of a tornado or something like that.
Yep,
okay.
It's from our childhood.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I have the number.
All right,
and I'm gonna you guys are going to get the same ones. And right now, because of limitations, I can't really, I wish I could give like infomercials and all that stuff.
the Ronco
Exactly.
dehydrator.
Mhm.
But okay, so the first one, 1979, The Muppet Movie.
Oh, if it was the Great Muppet Caper, I'd keep on going. But no, I do not like the Muppet movie.
So you're going next, Brett, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm also going to go next.
Okay. Next channel, Star Trek Nemesis, 2002.
I don't think I've ever watched Star Trek Nemesis.
I've only seen
I'm
it
gonna-
once.
I'm going to go next.
Okay, Criddle.
Do I want to stick with Star Trek? Is there something better? Next.
Number 3 is Bridesmaid.
I watched like a half a second of that and I was already bored. So no, next.
What about you, Criddle?
I haven't seen it, but I don't. Do I want to be stuck watching this, Paul? No, next.
Okay. Next one, Vicky and Her Mystery, a 2021 film.
Next.
Next.
Is this the Lifetime channel? is the mystery that she escaped from an abusive husband and
Well, the picture I will tell you, since you've already said next, is like a 12-year-old. No, I guess it's an 8-year-old girl, like hugging a wolf. So, Vicky and Her Mystery. Okay, Wasabi, a 2001 movie.
next. I'm already not interested by this title.
All right, Criddle, where are you?
Click. Next.
You guys have got to the Weather Channel.
You know what? I think I'm gonna enjoy this.
I'm taking a nap.
All right, we'll do it again.
You know what? I'm curious what the weather is gonna be like in Toledo.
All right, we're gonna do it again here. Get another generated here. Okay, first one. It's called A Family Man.
Is that the Nicolas Cage movie?
No.
Okay.
That's just Family Man. I'm trying. It says Dane Jensen is driven Chicago-based headhunter working at a cutthroat job placement firm.
Next.
Next.
Okay. Next one is Sleeping with the Enemy.
Oh.
I think
That
it's
sounds-
a 1991. That one, is that Julia Roberts? It looks like Julia Roberts. I don't know.
Okay.
The young woman fakes her own death in an attempt to escape her nightmarish marriage. but discovers is impossible to EL ...
I'm gonna tempt fate next, but I'm like really wanting to probably continue watching this one.
I think I've seen this on TV, so I think I will gamble and go next.
Okay. My Name is Khan, 2010 movie. Rizwan Khan, a Muslim from Borivali section of Mumbai, has Asperger's syndrome.
No, if it was all about Khan from the Star Trek movie, I would be all on board for that.
Amen.
All right, so
but
you're
next.
both skipping.
Mhm.
Both go next. Okay. Unbreakable.
Next, faster than you can possibly imagine.
Tempt fate, go with Bruce Willis. Tempt fate, go with Bruce Willis. No, let's go next.
You both have got the Weather Channel.
You know what? I'm very curious on what the temperature is in Mumbai.
All right, we'll do it one more time. See if you guys can find something to watch.
Sounds like the 90s.
Exactly. Okay, first one, Black Crab, 2022 film.
Sounds like an independent film.
So can I get the synopsis for
To
this?
end an apocalyptic war and save her daughter, a reluctant soldier embarks on a desperate mission to cross a frozen, and then that's it. ...
I like these synopses because it's like the TV guide page in the newspaper.
Uh-huh.
This sounds like I like a good bad movie, and this sounds so bad. But I will tempt fate next.
Okay, Curdle.
The synopsis does help. Do I want to be stuck with that?
We'll just ask. The synopsis can be like on spelling bee when you ask for the definition.
Okay.
That does help. Let's go next then.
Okay. 1987 Roxanne.
Oh, Steve Martin next.
Next.
Double Trouble, a 1984 movie.
Wait, is that the... Oh, Double Trouble, 1984. Nope, that's... I was thinking that was one of Justin Taylor Thomas's movies. No.
Oh.
Double Trouble. Next.
Double Trouble.
Would you like a synopsis?
No, I just saw the poster. Next.
All right. Mr. Peabody and Sherman, 2014 movie.
That's the animation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I think time travel's in that movie. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now, oh man. If it was the Scoob movie.
Like Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, well, the brand new one that came out a couple years ago with Mark Wahlberg. I'd be all in on that one. All right. I'm going to click next, and now I'm curious what the weather in Egypt's going to be like.
I will stick with this one.
You're going to stay Mr. Peabody and Sherman? Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, Brett, for you.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie in a Mermaid Tale.
Yeah, if you thought the channel changed fast with the Unbreakable or whatever.
Did you need a synopsis?
No. Next.
Okay, a 2017 Kong Skull Island.
Oh, gosh. I would have taken that.
I'll watch this one. I've actually been wanting to watch that movie for a while.
That's the one with Samuel, right?
It's not bad, actually.
I'm just double checking that it's the one with Samuel.
It does. It has Samuel Jackson.
I mean, it's not the Peter Jackson version,
Yeah,
so
with Jack Black.
anything will be better than that.
It's got Tom Hiddleston.
Okay. Well, at least this round. So I'm going to just share some facts about yours. So Criddle picked Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It has a rating of 6.7. I don't know where they're pulling that rating from. probably IMDb. Kong Skull Island has a rating of 6.4. So that is the difference of yours, 0.3. What was left, there was 2 more to pick. The Ring and The Night Clerk, a 2020 movie.
Don't watch The Night Clerk. It's the synopsis and the trailer actually look good. It sucks. It's awful.
I'm trying to remember where I know that main actor from.
He is the dude from Ready Player One.
That's right. That's right. He is. So, in my opinion, if I were to assign a winner, I would say Kong, because I don't know. I've never been a Peabody and Sherman person.
So how
Agreed.
this would actually go down in the 90s is me and Criddle would meet up at school the next day just before school starts. Be like, hey, Timmy, guess what? I was flipping the channel and nothing was on, and I came across Skull Island. And he'd be like, oh, what channel was that on? Because I was watching Peabody and Sherman.
What are you guys' thoughts of this?
That's fun. That's a trip down memory lane.
Yep. That's what I thought. I was experiencing this week in the hotel. And so I was like, but of course I did have access to a guide, but I was still flipping through channels the normal way. I'm going, oh, I remember this. All right.
That's nostalgic.
Yep.
Draft, boom.
All right. This week we're going to do our draft boom with Nicolas Cage movies. For those that are new, draft boom is just us drafting the best of, but the boom, the final round, we draft one of our competitors or one for another person here, a bad one to tank their team, their awesome team, and take it down a notch. So, Brett, you're our number 1, and then it'll go me and Criddle, and then Criddle will give Brett his boom first, and then I'll give Criddle one, and Brett will give me one.
I mean, as I'm scrolling through his catalog, I don't see anything that could possibly be a boom. I will be shocked, sir, shocked and dismayed at you pulling out anything that is less than stellar from this massive list.
Yeah. Sure, you betcha.
All right. So I am going for my first round draft pick. It might not be everybody's favorite, but it is one that if I had to only watch one Nick Cage movie for the rest of my life, it would be National Treasure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's on my list.
I mean, definitely, yeah. It was on my list, but yeah. I mean,
that movie. I think that movie's underrated.
It is. I think if anything, I probably watched it too many times. That's definitely was still in my HBO era, I think.
Yeah.
Where they replayed it a lot.
Now, isn't Disney Plus like doing a reboot or a continuation?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be
I've
awesome.
heard something, but I can't recall what.
I think Disney Plus is doing something. I just don't remember what.
All right. I've got to take it. I enjoy it thoroughly. I am taking Con Air.
I thought that would be your first round draft pick.
I like Con Air a lot. I like not only like Nicolas Cage, but I like all the characters in there too. I mean, you got John Malkovich, you got
Steve Buscemi,
and oh gosh, who's the guy that just got beat up not too long ago on stage? I can't think. On Robin Hood Men in Tights, Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about that? Somebody stormed.
Yeah, they had a fake gun, but it had a knife in it.
Yeah, which is the weirdest thing.
I'm gonna take a knife. I'm gonna hide it in a fake gun
because guns are allowed here, so I can bring that in, but I can't bring in knives. So yeah, and then, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy who plays like the rude cop. I'm not the biggest fan of Cusack either, but I do like the other. I like all the bad guys, the cons.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a solid pick. I am going to go with The Rock.
Oh man, I was hoping that would slip by you. I was like, nobody likes The Rock, right? Except me.
That's probably one of Michael. What's his name?
Bay.
Michael Bay's best.
He did that
movies.
movie? That makes sense. That does have him written all over it. I don't think I
So
realized that.
yeah, and I like Sean Connery, so I think their chemistry works. I like that movie.
Yeah.
And then I guess I have The Wheel.
Yep.
Oh gosh. This movie I just like out of pure just almost nostalgia. I'm gonna go with Gone in 60 Seconds.
That was the one I
Interesting.
watched this week. And I was like, oh, I forgot some of the big actors that were in there. Like I don't know his real name. I don't think I ever have, but the assistant coach in Remember the Titans.
Okay.
I forgot he was in there.
Yeah.
I forgot that man, I'm forgetting everybody's name right now.
So Angelina Jolie was in that
Yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
What's his name in The Godfather's son? What's his name? What is the
Al Pacino?
No, not Al Pacino. Who's the guy that's in Elf?
Oh, James Caan.
Yeah, so his son,
Okay.
Scott
yeah.
Caan.
Scott Caan, yep.
Yeah.
which I love Ready to Rumble. That's one of my favorite movies of his. All right, my turn. Quit wasting time, Jeremy. This one is harder because I won The Rock. I think I gotta go Face Off.
Oh.
Face Off, I liked it. Did you like it, Criddle, or no?
I did. I liked Face Off.
See, my favorite thing about Face Off is because of that movie, and listening to Adam Carolla's podcast starting back in the 2010s or whatever, his philosophy surrounding Face Off has prevented me from like really hating any movie, because he had what was called the Face Off theory, where because he went to the movie Face Off and people were walking out of the theater complaining. He's like, I can't believe that. That was so stupid. They took one guy's face and put it on somebody else's face, and he's just like, yes, that was the world. That was the trailer. You agreed to that world existed when you saw it. So you went in knowing that this is how this world is going, and so if you don't like it, it's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
And since I heard him say that, I'm like, I think it's a solid theory. And generally, I'll like watch a movie. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be good, but I'll give it a go. And then because of the Face Off theory, I'm relatively not disappointed.
It is a good. Like if you're going into for example, Fast and Furious, and you're like, oh, street racing doesn't happen like that. Like it's not quite that glamorized or whatever you want to say. Like that doesn't matter. You bought into the movie in this fictional world and you accept it.
Yeah.
So I agree with that 100%. Except.
Mm-hmm.
And Brett, I know you'll back me up with this, that if the trailer lies to you.
I hate when nowadays trailers don't lie to you. They show you the entire movie.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know what I'm talking about, Criddle, when the trailer lies to you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There was, the one trailer that lied to me that I felt duped when I watched it, because I went in thinking I was going to watch one movie and I ended up watching a whole different movie, was Underworld. Because Underworld, if I remember right, the trailer, it depicted it as, the Lycans, those are the werewolves, right?
Uh-huh.
And the vampires are, at war.
You pick a side.
And you pick a side. You pick which side you're going to root for. But then the way the story was told, it was very biased towards the vampires. I was like, apparently I didn't get a pick. You kind of force-fed me. So that was my complaint.
All right. So I have the wheel pick. I'm going to pick, and I think this is going to probably take everybody off guard, the movie Next.
I like the premise of that movie. I don't know if I like it 100%, but I did like the premise of that movie quite a bit.
I would agree with that.
And the next one on the wheel pick, and I will tell you, just do yourself a favor and watch the
I know which one
watch
you're
the
say.
trailer.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were going to say watch the movie. I was like, if you
no.
says watch the movie.
Just watch the trailer, and you will want to watch the movie. It is called Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland. I've never even heard of this.
So it takes place in this abandoned theme park think of like, Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, abandoned thing that is like possessed. All of the animatronics are possessed by like evil demons or whatever. And Nicolas Cage's car breaks down. And so they tell him the guy who owns it will pay him money if he cleans the inside, knowing that he's basically going to be sacrificed and killed. Meanwhile, a group of 20-something-year-olds come in to go tour this like so-called haunted Willy's Wonderland or whatever. And then, of course, everything turns evil and starts killing everybody. And Nicolas Cage is like this janitor type character who is like taking out all of these animatronic stuff. It is glorious. It is absolutely glorious.
That sounds good.
It sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie.
It does. It does. Okay.
The funny thing is I was at the comic book store the other day for Free Comic Book Day, and I saw on the stand Willy's Wonderland, and they had already had a third comic. I go, you mean there's two more that came before this?
That's funny. Okay. I'm having a hard time with my last good pick here because I think I have it down to two, and two of them are mainly more nostalgic than anything. But also, I want to stick it to you guys because you guys, I think, overlooked it as well as I did too. I'm going to choose Into the Spider-Verse.
I saw that. I passed on that just because I still don't like the Kingpin as the big
that ginormous. Yeah.
That just bothers me. I don't know why, but it just bothers me.
Yep, I like it for all the different Spider-Man and the main Spider-Man being played by Jake Johnson.
See, I like Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man Noir. I would love for that to be like a cartoon series or something like that.
Definitely.
That was a good movie, though.
All right, Criddle, you're up.
I was going to pick Spider-Man. Going through all of his movies, I just was like, man, I haven't seen a lot of Nicolas Cage stuff. I'm going to go with this out of just pure nostalgia. I'm going to go with Ghost Rider.
There you go.
The first one.
I haven't even seen the second one. All right, Criddle, you get to give Brett his boom.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
There's not a lot to choose from.
Pure gold in there.
I don't have real whole rhyme or reason for this pick other than, IMDb says it's a low-rated film. So I'm going to go with The Wicker Man.
Oh, dang it. That is the 101 if you ask me, and as far as booms go. I was like, okay, it sounds like Kriddle's not going to pick it. It sounds like he's not going to pick it. And then he did. Dang it.
I thought you were going to pick the one that I was going to give as the boom because,
Oh, you mean if Criddle did pick it, I would have got it? Dang it.
Yeah, you would have got it.
Oh, gosh. Now I have to. Okay, well, I'm going to give. So now I give to you, Criddle. I'm going to give you The Weatherman. That's
an odd one.
It was a very disappointing movie. I don't know why I watched it, but I did.
I haven't seen that.
It's just Michael Caine's in it, and he's a jerk of a dad to Nicolas Cage, and then Nicolas Cage is trying to be a better father to his daughter. His daughter's super weird, and it's just awkward altogether, all around. Actually, there's one more movie I could have given, but that's fine.
All right. So I'm going to give, and I started watching this because it looked interesting, and then it just went weird, and then it went weird to bad, and then it went from bad to eye vomit. It is called Color Out of Space.
Never heard of it.
Essentially, this meteorite lands on Earth, and it produces this interesting color, and Nicolas Cage and his wife and his two kids really kind of start getting intrigued by it, and so they take it and they put it into their house. Well, then every so often it will vibrate colors, and it just starts terraforming part of their neighborhood. And then the wife and the son got too close to it, and so it morphs them into some weird being. And then if you think that's weird, it just gets weirder after that. It is a horrible movie. It looks like it's going somewhere. It doesn't.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen. No, I haven't seen this.
This sounds horrible.
Yeah. So some honorable mentions I think I had was a callback to the 90s. There was 2 movies in there that I was really debating on picking. Oh, Matchstick Men was a bad one I should have picked also. It was Trapped in Paradise. You remember that with what's his name? Dana Carvey and I can't remember the other
Oh
guys.
yes, where they're
like bank robbers.
They're bank robbers, and they're trapped in a town called Paradise. Yeah,
for Christmas because and they get to stay with the people that the president of the bank that they robbed. And the other one would be It Could Happen to You. I haven't seen this one forever. It was a good one where he wins the lottery.
That's not a bad. The weird thing is the premise is not bad, but then it just gets weird, like because I think Meg Ryan is the waitress that waits on him, and he just says, "Hey, I'm sorry, I don't have any money to tip you, but you know what? I have this lottery ticket. If I win, I'll give you half." And he happens to win.
Yeah.
And then it's just becomes this whole convoluted thing where there is no like legality for the whole thing, and it's just weird.
It's Bridget Fonda.
Okay,
that was the main girl. And then I think there was one more common honorable mention of his. Oh, I liked Wind Talkers. I did. That was a World War II movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like Lord of War, and World Trade Center wasn't bad. Those are the ones I would shout out to. Didn't you like the Kick Bum one?
Oh, Kick Ass.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. The first one. The reason why I like the first one is there is a couple of dark lines that are dark comedy lines, and I just found them funny. But the sad part, like, I watched it again the other day, or by the other day, probably about a couple months ago, and I didn't like it because to me it still has like the same problem, like why I can't watch the Netflix Daredevil series, is it's just people getting the crap beat out of them.
But also that brings their humanity, like the fact that they're like I can speak for Daredevil, you know, his superpowers aren't really super.
No.
He just can see even better than a person that can see under certain conditions. That's the Incredible. Have you seen? I'm curious. You've seen The Croods, right?
Yes.
Did you like it? I've never finished it.
I didn't mind The Croods 1. I didn't really like The Croods 2.
Which is funny because I feel like they pumped in a whole bunch of famous people into those movies. Because I mean, Nicolas Cage, Ryan Reynolds, Emma Stone. Cloris Leachman. I guess that's about it. That's the list I'm seeing in front of me. But yeah, I've only been able to watch like 10, 15 minutes of them. Not that they're super annoying. It's just lose interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A good actor to do this with in the future would probably be Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. He's definitely, probably has a more vast list.
Mm-hmm.
Huge catalog.
All right. Well, that sums it up. I'm just going to give a quick recap here. So, Brett, you have National Treasure, Next, Willy's Wonderland, and The Wicker Man. And I have Con Air, Face Off, Into the Spider-Verse, The Weatherman. Oh, wait a minute. No. I gave Criddle The Weatherman. My bad. And so I got Color Out of Space. My bad. I was like, wait a minute. Why did I give myself the one? And then Criddle, you have The Rock, Gone 60 Seconds, Ghost Rider, and The Weatherman. So by this alone, now I'm tempted because I've seen everybody's movie in their first 3 picks except for Willy's Wonderland. So now I'm curious. Is it worth it, Brett? You described it, but yeah.
It is. It's everything that I described.
Is it scary or is it humorous? Or is it both?
I think it kind of tries at times to be scarier than it is, but it comes across, maybe this is just me, it comes across more humorous.
Okay. I'll have to give that a watch.
I will watch the trailer today.
Yep. And I can't wait to watch that new Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh yeah, that's going to be great.
All right. Well, now do our one recommendation. You got a recommendation for us, Brett?
I mean, to me, here's my one recommendation. And I was sitting there thinking about, we're approaching May. We are in May. We're approaching the summer time where there's so many brand new movies that are coming out. And because I don't really watch, I think there's two things that are going on. I don't really watch many commercials because I avoid them at all costs. I pay more money for any subscription just so that I don't have to see them. And then I don't watch live TV. But my recommendation is searching for good 2022 movies that are either coming out in theaters or some of those that are coming out direct to streaming services or whatever, because I feel as though for a couple of years we've been in a bubble, not expecting anything good to come out. And now things are coming out, and I don't feel as though people are talking about new movies now. Everybody's talking about still, even though I saw Doctor Strange 2, people are still talking about Endgame or, the phase 2 of the Marvel thing. Not that many people, I feel as though, are talking about brand new stuff. So my one recommendation is go invest in looking into future turnouts of or future releases and look forward to something.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely haven't looked too much into current movies. I'm just always on current TV. I spend more time with TV than movies by far, which is funny because it's like it's the longer commitment for TV in reality.
Yeah.
My one recommendation is I'm going to override Taylor since his isn't here. He's not here. I'm going to recommend, I don't think, he said to wait until Boba Fett was out, all the way out. I'm, watching it maybe one episode a day, so it's not like I'm binging it per se. But I think that show is completely fine the way it is. If I was watching this as it came out, I'd be completely fine with it. It's not boring at all. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's not, definitely doesn't hold up to, I'm only on like episode 3 or 4. Definitely doesn't hold up to as good as Mandalorian, but I mean, it's good. I enjoy it.
So just out of curiosity, because I haven't seen Boba Fett, but do they have like complimentary people? Because I feel as though like, your Bill Burr or the one chick that would show up from time to time that now no longer can work for Disney or something like
Yeah.
that. I feel as though the random guest appearances, and then you had that one black guy that ended up getting that black lightsaber or whatever. I found those reoccurring appearances of some of these random people coming in and out of the series very enjoyable. And I feel as though sometimes people like demand or require you have a consistent cast. So what do they do? Do they have a consistent cast, or is there like lots of randomness?
So far, have you seen this, Criddle? I'm sure.
Yeah, I saw it when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion on this is that it's not quite this like there's no cameos that I've seen yet to this point, unless I've completely just right over my head. Didn't somebody Colin Farrelled me as the Penguin or something like that? But yeah, I haven't noticed anybody. But I mean, pretty much it takes place on Tatooine, which I'm impressed. I know that now.
Congratulations.
And actually, this is my lack of knowledge in Star Wars. Is that the same planet that Anakin came from?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where the pod racers were?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that where Luke came from too then?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This is just goes to show you how little I know. But that's cool. Anyway. But no, the only thing that keeps changing, I mean, because he is essentially, I don't think it's a spoiler at all because it starts off this way. Somebody murdered Jabba the Hutt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who it was. Curl, do you know who that is?
I don't remember.
they mention him, and then Boba Fett, murders that guy. And so now he is like whatever Jabba the Hutt's title is. They call it like Dion me or something like that. I don't know. He's just in charge of that land now. And so it's the same location. There's not a lot of flying around like Mandalorian has.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of consistency in the people you see, but I haven't seen any cameos. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable. I think I just finished the episode where, because they tell a story about do flashbacks of him, with the Sand People. I don't know the Tusken
Raiders.
Yeah, and when he was held captive by them, and I found that story probably more fascinating than the story that is at present time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool, but I enjoy it. As a non-Star Wars fan, The Mandalorian and Boba Fett are by far, and Rogue One. Those are like the top 3 for me. So
the last 2 or 3 episodes of the Boba Fett were probably the most enjoyable.
Okay.
For sure.
I can't wait then. How many episodes are in that series? Do you know? Off the top of your head?
8 or 10. I don't know.
Okay. One of those shorter seasons. And then again, my hat's off to Jon Favreau for creating this whole universe. Not the universe, but these storylines. I guess I should say it'd be more accurate. Because he created the Mandalorian story. He created the Boba Fett story according to the credits, at least. And so, he's a good guy. What he did with Marvel and Star Wars, Disney loves him, I'm sure. All right, Critter, what do you got?
It's funny Brett says something about movies because I was going to recommend Doctor Strange 2.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
I saw it. I would say I liked it. I didn't love it. So it kind of falls right in the line with The Useless Scout. And I mean, it was enjoyable. I definitely kind of regret taking my kids.
Oh yeah, a little scary
because it's a darker.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, Sam Raimi, he's a horror director, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Luckily for me, my kids got bored, and so they were just looking at the walls and the lights and all that stuff. But I mean, there were a couple of jumps in the film. There's some fun cameos in there. Again, I mean, it's okay. It's not super great, but it was a fun watch.
That's good. No, I need to get caught up. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man and now that one.
Well, the funny thing was so I went to Doctor Strange with our brother-in-law, and he leans over to me before it starts, and he just goes, man, I don't know if I know we got tickets to this, but oh man, I haven't finished WandaVision. And he goes, do you think I should? I go, I haven't even watched WandaVision. And so within the very first beginning, Doctor Strange goes over to the Scarlet Witch and just like, hey, remember that time that you captured that whole town and enslaved them, and then you killed your husband? And I'm like, and I lean over to him. I'm like, there you go. Now you don't have to watch the rest of it.
Yep. I watched this thing that on TikTok somebody put on there of. I guess, I don't know if it's like the president of Marvel or whatever he is in the ranking of Disney and Marvel. But anyway, he was speaking about the next phase or whatever. Uh-huh. And he was talking about how instrumental the ending of Loki was to the ongoing of Marvel. And somebody was trying to explain what he was exactly saying. I was like, it was over my head. I'm like, I am a nerd, but apparently your nerddom goes deeper than mine.
Interesting.
But because apparently something that Timekeeper or whatever says at the end is really kind of what the rest is based on. So
it was really just him explaining that the multiverse kind of opened up in the end of Loki.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's just how it all started.
Okay.
That's how the spell kind of goes wrong in Spider-Man, and then it just leads to the madness in Doctor Strange, because there isn't that singular guy that's there to watch to make sure that things are contained. And
was that what Loki was all about. You know those little, what do they call them? You know how they always show the chart and then the little time riffs. Is that the multiverse essentially? Those
I think
all the
that
different time riffs.
I think those are just the particular timelines in that particular universe, and the timekeepers are trying to keep it balanced.
Oh, okay.
So just out of curiosity, Tim or Timmy or Criddle,
Timmy.
whatever. Did you find that Doctor Strange 2 is more or less a standalone movie? Because I mean, besides how it ends, I feel as though there's not that, unlike Winter Soldier or something like that, there's not like going to be a continuing story arc that comes from a lot of this.
I feel like it was very open-ended as far as an ending, and it also felt a little rushed too. Like everything just kind of stopped. And then, I mean, there's a character that kind of appears at the end that I'm like, who is this? I mean, if you haven't read any comics about it, you wouldn't know who it is. But as a standalone, I mean, I guess it kind of does. If I hadn't seen Doctor Strange 1, I probably would be a little lost. I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah, I'll watch it and let you know.
All right, yeah, you let me know, because I'm sitting there thinking, because it's not bad if it's not a standalone, but like some people have complained, about Captain Marvel being basically a standalone story, just like that was her introduction to be in the next movie.
Yep, I think that's exactly what Captain Marvel was. If you ask me, I don't know if they have any future plans. They have a Captain Marvel 2 in the works, don't they?
They have
They do.
Marvel, which is going to have Miss Marvel, the Indian stretchy arm girl, Captain Marvel, which is the one that was in the movie, and then Monica Rambeau, the black Captain Marvel. So it's going to be a trilogy of Captain Marvels.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I am looking forward to Thor 4, I guess it is.
I don't know why. I'm just not the most excited about Natalie Portman in it, because I was kind of happy when she left.
In Taika we trust.
Yeah, that's true. In Taika we trust. There's Taika's so funny. Did you know he was in the Green Lantern?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did know that. Yes, because he was riffing with Ryan Reynolds one time about meeting each other, and Ryan Reynolds was like, "I've never met you before in my life."
Oh yeah, that was on the Honest Trailers thing. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen him pop up in things. I'm like, oh, there's Taika. I didn't know you were in this. Like I watched him. Oh, it was Suicide Squad, and I saw him as like the rat guy.
Oh, the Rat King or Rat Catcher.
Yep.
I love that Suicide Squad. It was so funny. Somebody put on a Facebook group that I'm on. It says you have to get rid of one of these. Which one is it? And it was the Joker, the Batman, the Suicide Squad movie, and I think they did Shazam. I can't remember. And I'm like, oh, that's easy. Joker. That's gone.
Yep. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but on HBO Max, Taika has like a TV show. I forget what it's about, but I mean what it's called, but it's about essentially being pirates.
Oh, cool.
So Taika's Blackbeard, and but what the story is about this guy who's very British, but he left the British like army or whatever, and he left his family behind to become a pirate. And he is anything but a pirate, and you know he's a lot more like the Robert De Niro's character in Stardust a little bit.
Oh yes.
And so his men don't really know whether they should follow him or not or kill him. And so it's an interesting, but it is definitely a British humor style.
I'm gonna
where
have
it's
to
very
look that
dry.
up.
I've watched the first episode and I'll give it maybe a couple more, but it's not my type of humor, which I respect everybody who likes Arrested Development, Office, Parks and Rec, But those aren't unfortunately, I don't enjoy those humor.
Out of all of those, I only do Arrested Development. And the other ones, no.
And Criddle, you probably like all of them, huh?
I've never seen Arrested Development, but I do enjoy The Office. I've watched Parks and Rec, but I only watched it once, and I think one and done for me.
Parks and Rec was a show that, in my opinion, had good moments. Like I liked, what's his name?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt and the boss guy.
Ron.
Nick Offerman. Yeah, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the two people that I was like, this show is hilarious for these two people.
Yes. I would agree.
Anyways, we've rambled a lot.
All right.
So there was a whole bunch of useless stuff at the end of this podcast for our Utterly Useless Scouts.
Excellent. Enjoy.